Our first guest tonight has worked on mummies, new secrets from the tomb at the Denver Museum of Nature and Science. Please welcome Michele Koons. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. So you've worked on the mummy exhibit,
yes,
correct?
Yes.
What have you done with that?
So I am the curator of archaeology at the museum, so
Okay.
I'm the curator assigned to this exhibit.
Awesome. What's that mean?
Well, so we always have temporary exhibits that are constantly coming to the museum,
Yeah.
and we assign curators to them to help with the content and to provide information for our volunteers and visitors.
Very cool. So you're the curator of archaeology.
Yes.
What's that like? What kind of exhibits do you get to work on?
Well, the Mummies exhibit,
Mummies.
which has been fantastic, and then I worked on a Maya exhibit we had a while ago, and then we have our permanent exhibits on mummies and that I also work on.
Awesome. So now we have double mummies.
Yes.
So tell me some about the mummy exhibit. What can audiences see in it?
So we just opened on the 14th, so about a week and a half ago or so, and it's a fantastic exhibit. It's really a look at old collections through new technology. So the exhibit was created by the Field Museum in Chicago, and it focuses on Peru and Egypt. Mummies from Peru, mummies from Egypt that have been in the collection in the Field Museum since the late 1800s. And with the new technology of CT scanning, we can now virtually unwrap these mummies and see what's inside of them and learn so much more about who these individuals were. And so the exhibit has all these old style cases from the turn of the last century, and these really juxtaposed with this really nice new technology and touch screens and interactive. So it's really neat exhibit.
So it's interactive. What can audiences how can they interact with the exhibit?
Sure. So we have some touch tables where you can participate in unwrapping those mummies and discover the different what we call grave goods or items that are inside the wrappings of the bundles. And then you can look at the bones and you can start to look at health through those issues. And so you just get to see inside a mummy, which so many people don't get to.
I think that'd be awesome to see inside a mummy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are there artifacts that go along with the mummies? What are some of the other things along with them?
Sure. So we have the mummies from Peru and from Egypt, and then we have artifacts as well from both Peru and Egypt. The stuff that would be inside the bundles that is no longer inside bundles, but is representative of what would be. And then we have, in the Egypt side of things, we have canopic jars and some of those
Canopic
hooks.
jars?
Yes.
What's a canopic jar?
The canopic jars are where they used to put the organs in when you take your organs out, and you would put them in different jars.
Okay.
So, and the brain hooks is another thing we have. So we can, so there's a lot of interesting things to see, not only the mummies, but the artifacts that go along with it.
Sounds like it's perfect for Halloween with
organ
jars and brain hooks.
Of course, yes.
All this fun stuff. Awesome. So describe your background with archaeology. What kind of got you
Sure.
into that?
I've been an archaeologist for a while, and I have actually spent most of my career working in Peru. So this is a really fun exhibit for me to work on.
I honestly didn't even know that there were mummies in Peru.
Yeah.
So I'm learning something.
There are, and a lot of people don't know. So it's a really interesting thing for our guests to explore.
Is there a difference between mummies in Peru and Egypt? Or I think everyone knows Egypt mummies as those stereotypes.
Yeah, actually, Peru, the mummification began in Peru way before Egypt. The oldest mummies in the world are from northern Chile, southern Peru, and they're over 7,000 years old. Oh, wow. And so it's a very long practice of mummification there as well. But
very cool.
Yeah.
Did they also put things in their wrappings in Peru?
They did. They did. And the mummies are slightly different. There's many cultures in Peru, and so it's not. Whereas in Egypt, where you see the somewhat similar style of mummification practices go through time, it changed a lot, but similar religious practices behind it. In Peru, you have people that are flexed and bundled, or they're extended and bundled, or sometimes their organs are removed, and so there's a lot of different kinds of mummification in
Peru.
I'm
guessing all those have different meanings and.
They have
for
different.
The most part?
Exactly, for the most part, and you get to explore that in the exhibit though, and see these different mummifications.
How long is the exhibit here for?
It's here until February 5th.
Okay.
We're one of only 5 cities in the United States that's getting this exhibit, so it's definitely a must-see.
And who's the audience that should come see this? Is this more for an older crowd or younger crowd?
I think it really is up to parents if they want to bring kids and if the kids themselves, because it's definitely, in many ways, it's an adult exhibit, but kids are loving it.
Are they?
We are really seeing that the kids are they're just fascinated by it. And so it really, I think, can transcend multiple generations, but it definitely is, it's a sombering exhibit, and it is quite different from some of the other exhibits that we have that are just made mostly for kids.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I'm so excited to see the exhibit. I'll have to come for sure.
Fantastic.
All right.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much.